I smell an Illuminati conspiracy. They're trying to say your boy Katt Williams was out here giving people uppercuts and shit. I just don't believe it. Katt Williams would never, ever just walk around slapping people, not even hoes. Listen, his pimping is at such a monumentous level, right? Is monumentous a real word? Anyways, his pimping is at such a supreme level. I'm going to stick to words I know are words. His pimping is so amazing and magnificent and so mesmerizing that Katt Williams just hypnotizes bitches with his presence. So he doesn't even slap his hoes anymore. So why would he just slap a random? Come on now. I don't believe this shit. Anyways, the following news comes from GainesvilleTimes.com. The article is titled Comedian Katt Williams Arrested in Gainesville. Now, the From Times staff writes, and I quote, comedian Katt Williams was arrested Monday on a battery charge in Gainesville after a store employee told police that Williams punched him during an argument. Gainesville police officers responded to an assault call at Leslie's Pool Supplies on Dawsonville Highway around 11:30 a.m. and found Williams outside, quote, lying on the ground with his hands behind his back as though he was ready to go to jail, end quote, Sergeant Kevin Holbrook said. A store employee told officers Williams, who was in the store with two women, pause the story right there. They did not identify the two women in the story. We don't know whether or not your girl Hazel E from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 3 was there or not, and I wish they would have said that. I mean, first of all, just before I get back to the story, if Hazel E was there and Katt Williams got into a fight, then she would have been going to jail too. So, you know, she would have whooped somebody's ass pretty bad. Go Hazel. Anyway, back to my man Katt and what happened with this setup right here. This obviously he was set up if anything did pop off. But anyways, back to the story. A store employee told officers William, who was in the store with two women, began arguing with the employee and threw a pair of goggles at him. Paul, stop the music. Since when do ninjas throw goggles at people? That shit doesn't even make any sense. They began arguing with the employee and threw a pair of goggles at him, Holbrook said. Williams then went behind the counter and punched the employee at least once, Holbrook said. The cause of the argument wasn't immediately clear. When officers tried to question Williams, he told them to ask the store employee what happened, Holbrook said. Quote, Mr. Williams was not forthcoming with any information, Holbrook said. Holbrook has a lot to say without really saying much, for the record. Anyways, Hall County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Deputy Nicole Bailey said in an email that Williams faces a misdemeanor battery charge and was being held on $5,000 bond. Online jail records show Williams was booked into jail at 1:34 p.m. He was bailed out late Monday afternoon. Janice Lee, a publicist for Williams, didn't immediately respond to phone and email messages. An employee at Leslie's Pool Supplies directed the Times to the corporate office. The store's corporate office did not immediately comment to the Times. Williams, 44, has starred in comedy specials and appeared in films including Friday After Next, end quote. So that was the Gainesville Times taking the story. I'm going to read you what TMZ wrote about it real quick because it's not a very lengthy article. So I'm just going to read you the short article right here. TMZ titled it, quote, Katt Williams busted for pool store assault. TMZ writes, and I quote, Katt Williams is sitting in a Georgia jail cell after getting busted for hitting a store clerk, TMZ has learned. Police tell us Katt was arrested Monday at a pool supply store in Gainesville, Georgia. Officers say Katt had a verbal altercation with an employee and it escalated when he threw an object and then punched the employee. Katt, who had his fair share of arrests, assumed the position. Cops say he was on the ground with his hands behind his back, ready to be cuffed when they arrived. Katt was released on $5,000 bail. Oh my God. So that's what TMZ had to say. Had his fair share of arrests, assumed the position. Cops say he was on the ground with his hands behind his back, ready to be cuffed when they arrived. Oh my gosh. TMZ, really? The simple fact that you worded things like that, I mean, Oh my Lord. You know what? Let me ooh, sweet Lord Jesus. My blood pressure is so high. I think a vessel's gonna burst through the middle of my forehead like a damn unicorn. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this microphone off before I get really. I'm about to blow a gasket, Jesus. But I will say this, TMZ, you really need to slow down. You're really driving in the fast lane on 3 fucking wheels in the 3-wheel motion with one up in the air like an old school Dr. Dre record. I mean, that just TMZ constantly, consistently rubs me the wrong way. You know, I try to be, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, TMZ, sometimes you can just really be the worst. The way they word things in these articles when a so-called black person is being talked about, sometimes, I mean, they really just go too far. And I don't know who's writing these articles, because for all I know, it could be some, for lack of a better term, some quote unquote coon, somebody who's basically trying to buck dance, you know, or whatever, to impress and entertain Caucasian people. I don't really know why they word things that way when it's a brown person, but TMZ, you really got to do better. This is just shameful. Even for you, that's pretty low. Yeah, he's used to being arrested. He just laid there with his hands behind his back, just waiting to go to jail again. Anyways, Katt Williams is obviously set up. Fuck the Illuminati in the ass with a hot torch of illumination in the asshole. And let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine, #free cat. Even if he is free, they should have never put the cat in a cage in the first place. This is shameful. Meat Magazine.